middle crossing routes for ICC was
boy.
just open all night long, and Achilles' heel was through the air. Pass defense for EMCC as they gave up over 400 yards of ICC throwing the football. So that's something I know they went back to the drawing board this past week and of course wanted to get corrected.
Yeah, you absolutely had to because, it seemed like just about every other play defensively, Jason, we were talking about the fact that there was a receiver open in the middle of the football field. Just like you said, sometimes they ran those crossing routes underneath. Sometimes they ran them a little bit deeper, ran some square ends and things of that nature. But whatever they were, they just kept getting open in the middle. And, Glenn, I thought had some good observations last week about the linebackers not getting back in coverage. And I would expect that there's been a lot of work on that this week.
We're going to take a final timeout before our coin toss. Glenn Beard's going to be on the field live with that. That's coming up momentarily. We're going to take another 2-minute timeout. We'll be back with more on EMCC Football Pregame on the EMCC Radio Network.
No knees were taken during the anthem.
Because there's nobody out here.
Talking about in the crowd.
Oh, okay, that's good. Do. EMCC over on the far sideline. They're out of the locker room, still awaiting the arrival of the home team, Mississippi Delta. We're under 3 minutes till kickoff, and we still have not had the coin toss yet, as the captains for both teams have not come out on the field. Glenn Beard is, besides the cheerleaders and the band for Mississippi Delta, the only other person down on the field. He's standing at about the 39-yard line to your right, and Glenn's still waiting. Glenn, you may be waiting a while. I don't know if we're going to have the coin toss. We may just kick it off to the home team. Glenn, right now, you mentioned the atmosphere was sarcastically electric just a moment ago. You could hear a pin drop in the stands right now here in Moorhead.
Yeah, it's a quiet out here at Moorhead. First one I've ever attended. I've heard about them. You hear about it in fairy tales and news stories, but you've never really seen one. But so far tonight, this is a quiet out apparently here at Moorhead.
One of the things we talked about just a minute ago was EMCC's got to work on some things defensively. I thought they did a good job getting a little bit better in the fourth quarter. You look at some of their stats defensively so far this season, they've been really good under Cliff Collins. 37 tackles behind the line of scrimmage in 4 games, including 14 quarterback sacks, 91 yards of total loss. 8 different EMCC defenders, Charlie, have picked up sacks.
Yeah, I think that's one thing they've done a pretty good job of is getting pressure. The thing that concerned me a little bit last week was that sometimes you bring extra guys and you give up a little bit of coverage for the sake of getting pressure. I didn't feel like that was the case last week. I thought that it wasn't that EMCC was getting caught in blitzes. They were just having trouble holding on to those slot receivers at times. But, Jason, it looks like we're going to get the captains out to the field, and Glenn Beard will be there for our coin toss.
Thanks, guys. Down here at midfield, the captains have come out with the white hat, and he is getting ready to explain the rules and do the coin toss. Let's listen in.
Who's going to make the call? All right, this is a coin for one of our officials going to Iraq next year, okay? H is for heads.
Daniel
Okay?
Jr., 32.
H is for heads. I'm going to catch it. All right, call it before I flip it. H or heads or tails?
He called tails. He called tails.
Number 14, Kenny Light.
Tails.
And number 52,
Tails, okay? See the heads,
Aquarius
tails.
Davis.
All right, they want to receive. Which end do you want to kick from?
All right, guys. East Mississippi has won the toss and is elected to receive. And this is a little bit different, Jason. You're used to your favorite KFC, but they're going to kick towards the clock tonight.
All right, thank you very much, Glenn. And that means EMCC will be kicking from left to right, or excuse me, Mississippi Delta will be kicking to EMCC from left to right, and we're getting set for action. They've already put 15 minutes up on the scoreboard as the coin toss has taken place. We have 2 minutes before it's officially 7 o'clock, Charlie, and Mississippi Delta still has yet to bring their team out as the two captains just a moment ago for Delta trot back to the locker room, Kenny Like and also DeQuarian Davis.
Well, Jason, we had a chance to have some discussion earlier today. I was curious as to what the rules were for running the clock, but I've got a $20 bill in my pocket and I'm near the clock operator, so maybe we can just keep this thing running here early and get this game moving.
It's a quiet atmosphere, a few fans still trickling in just a little bit. We see some students from Mississippi Delta that's making their way in here, and
yeah, Jason,
it's not a terrible crowd, just everybody's really, really quiet.
Well, I'll tell you, in fact, I was walking in and I had a chance to walk in with a student at Mississippi Delta, and she said, hey, just so you know, I'm cheering for you guys tonight.
Wow.
So
last chance you found it.
Yeah, so shit, I just want to see what this is all about. And, you know, I asked her, I said, well, why'd you come to the game? She said, well, I just keep hearing so much about EMCC. I wanted to see what the story's about.
Yeah. Well, the number one team in the country is going to draw a crowd. There's no doubt about it, and some interest from people maybe that haven't been to a ball game all year long. As we mentioned, Mississippi Delta 0-3 on the season. Their statistics not that great, 56.8, which is 57 yards a game. Only 24 of those on the ground, 33 through the air, and playing a stifling defense now that ranks one of the tops in the country. Also offensively tops in the country is EMCC. Their kick team, return team, is out on the field, EMCC to our right, and as Mississippi Delta is running out onto the field through the band and cheerleaders from left to right, and they come to the near side as it's football night here in Moorhead, Mississippi, and MAC-JC play. As we're going to have kickoff here momentarily, 15 minutes still on the clock awaiting this kickoff, and we're delayed just a little bit. It's kind of interesting. Couldn't they get a delay of game penalty at this point? Because the whole team was running through the cheerleaders as EMCC's out on the field. This has just been a weird atmosphere and environment tonight here in Mississippi Delta.
Well,
and it can't help but be because of what happened 2 years ago.
Let's hope it's not too weird.
Right.
We've had experiences with really weird. I just settle for moderately weird here tonight. But, Jason, it is interesting. EMCC, you can almost do without the coin toss. Almost every other team elects to defer when they win the toss,
right,
which means EMCC gets the ball. And when EMCC wins the toss, they elect to receive. So more times than not, they're going to be the receiving team. That will be the case. The return unit will have their deepest men standing at about the 14-yard line.
Harrison Hohenstein, a 6', 235-pound freshman from Laurel High School, is going to tee the football up at the 35-yard line, and he's going to kick it from left to right. Your kick return men back deep for EMCC. Those kickoff specialists will be Kirk Merritt and Mike Williams. Mike Williams over on the far side, Kirk Merritt to the near side, both standing near the 15-yard line, either hash. Hohenstein is going to listen to the whistle. Now he's going to let his team know he's ready to come up on the football, and he kicks it. And it's kind of a sidewinder that's going to go over the head of Kirk Merritt, who actually is near side, going to roll past the 5 and go into the end zone. So it will be a touchback. EMCC will have it first down and 10 to go from their own 25, moving from right to left. And this game is underway here at Mississippi Delta.
Yeah, just a low kick that time, Jason, but it was one of those, if it carries right to a return man, he's got a chance at a nice return, but it's one that gets between them, carries into the end zone, and The Lions will begin at their own 25-yard line, moving from our right to left.
Lindsey Scott Jr. will be in the shotgun at 91 yards on the ground a week ago. We'll have Price flanked to his left. Receives the snap for the 25, throws it near side to Calvin Keys Jr. Catches it 29-yard line for a gain of 4 yards on the play. Making the tackle for Mississippi Delta is going to be Jalen Woods to lead things for the Trojans. So it's going to bring up now a 2nd down and 5 situation. They're going to say got close to the 30, so 2nd and medium. His own 30, moving from right to left. Scott with the snap, throws it to Merritt, right side. Merritt gets the 1st down and more down the far sideline. He is into Mississippi Delta territory, drugged down from behind, inside the 45, down to the 41 of the Trojans. Nice gain that time.
Yeah, nothing complicated that time. A little bubble route to the right side, and a nice job by the Lions receiver Merritt getting up the field after the catch.
Darius Gainwell will knock him off his feet from behind, and the spot of the football will actually be the 42. Spot of the football on the right hash. It's the 42 of the Trojans. Scott with a snap, fires it near sideline, caught by Dorian McLaurin inside the 40, and he's going to shoot one man, can't the second, and they're going to tackle him, but his forward progress is going to get down to the 36-yard line after they tackle him back at the 39. But it will bring up now a 2nd down and 4 after the gain of 6, knocking him off his feet. Hennessy Thomas, a defensive back for Mississippi Delta. EMCC smoky gray jerseys and charcoal pants. And there's the snap going to Merritt out on the right side on a screen pass, and Merritt just goes over the pile. He's going to have enough for the 1st down as he went airborne that time, Glenn, and those kind of plays are fun to watch, but can be risky as far as injuries.
Right, Jason. It was actually a great tackle by Daniel Crowell.
Leaping over his own man. 1st down, 10 to go. Spot of the football, the Delta 30. Scott with a snap, looking left, fires it left at the seam, and it's going to one hop up to the intended receiver, Daniel Crowell Jr. out of Meridian, Mississippi, and it'll bring up a 2nd down and 10 situation.
Go back to the last play. Lions got a really nice job blocking out on the edge by Keys, and good blocking by the receiver so far tonight.
Snap from the 30 on 2nd and 10, leaving it with Price, who goes on the ground up the middle, the first running play of the game for EMCC. And they have a 3rd down up there, and so it's going to be 3rd down now, as that was 2nd and 10. Boy, they got the 3rd down up there quickly. I thought they were trying to say it was 3rd and 10. So it's 3rd and 6 after the 4-yard gain by Price. The snap from the 26-yard line, and it's caught by Daniel Crowell Jr. at the numbers over the right side at the 20. Has the 1st down and more as he gets down inside the 15-yard line.
Yeah, nice job that time by the quarterback, Scott, just getting in the pocket, maintaining his composure, and delivering the pass.
The defensive lineman's going to knock him on his feet, Terrence Williams, and EMCC is going to snap it from the 13 of Delta. They fire it near hash, and it's going to be caught, incomplete, inside the 15, down around the 12-yard line is where Dorian McLaurin was waiting that football as they threw it short near side at the seam.
Good job that time by the defensive back, converging on the play, not giving McLaurin time to control it before the hit arrived.
Twin receivers either side, wide side of the field to near side. They snap it, leave it with Price, goes around right side, is going to be hit inside the 10. His forward progress is going to be stopped around the 9-yard line, so it's going to bring up another 3rd down for EMCC. They've converted on a 3rd down just a moment ago. Antonio Oliver, defensive back for the Trojans, going to come up and make the stop. So the spot of the football is the 9-yard line. 3rd down, 5 to go. Got to get just inside the 5-yard line of Delta. The Leroy Price has a hole right up the middle. He just bowls his way to the end zone. Touchdown, EMCC. And a 9-yard run for Tyrell Price's 10th touchdown of the season for the Lions with 12:26 to go in the first quarter. It's 6-0 EMCC. They score on their opening drive, going 75 yards.
Nice job by Price again. You know, he is such a different looking back, and just than perhaps we're used to for EMCC. Just a powerful, straight-ahead runner, and that time just powered his way into the end zone.
So Grayson Pontius is going to come out to attempt the PAT. Raleigh Wood will snap it back to Braden Boykin. Here's the snap back. The hold is good, too, and the kick is end over end and through the uprights, and it's 7-0. EMCC with the lead with 12:26 to go in the first quarter here. Moorhead will be back to Mississippi Delta Community College in 30 seconds with the kick to the Trojans. They'll have their first crack at the football. This is the EMCC Radio Network.
Plays. Okay, I got it, Jason. I'll bring it back.
Okay.
EMCC opens the ball game with a 10-play drive that covers 75 yards. Is capped with a touchdown run by Tyrell Price and the Lions.
Return man, which is Antonio Oliver. Mississippi Delta Deliqua McCoy, 6'6", 200-pound freshman from Columbia, South Carolina.
Yeah, they're going to give him forward progress out to the 31-yard line, make it 3rd down and 4. Pretty good job converging that time by the Lions on the tackle.
And McCoy is, as you mentioned, going to bring the football up to the 31-yard line. So 3rd down and 4 to go. Ball's going to be on the near hash. The snap to McAfee in the shotgun, and he fires it on a quick slant, and it's incomplete. So it'll bring up 4th down. And the intended receiver that time was Raheem Moore, a freshman from Vicksburg High School. And so now coming out to punt the football is Mississippi Delta.
Pretty good throw that time. Just would have taken a good catch, and he couldn't haul it in as he was trying to go to the ground.
LaDevion Smith is a sophomore wide receiver who has 8 punts for 324 yards, a 40.5-yard average. He'll be kicking from left to right. Ball on the 31, their own 31 for Delta. Kirk Merritt will stand inside his own 30. And he kicks it, and it's kind of a wobbly kick. It's going to bounce at the 30. And leaping up at the 25 and getting it's going to be Kirk Merritt. Tries to go on the right side, gets a couple of blocks, but is going to be tackled somewhere near the 30-yard line. I'm going to say he goes down actually around the 28-yard line. So EMCC will have it at their own 28, moving right to left. Antonio Oliver will knock him off his feet.
Well, that time, a dangerous return, Glenn. Merritt, anytime you see your punt returner jumping up in the air, you have to worry. Probably saved his team 15 yards, but a dangerous effort.
And in the shotgun is going to be Lindsey Scott Jr. He's back to pass, has some pressure, fires it over the middle, and it's tipped up in the air, intercepted at the 45-yard line. Mississippi Delta is now going to cough it up, but they fall on it at the 40-yard line. And Mississippi Delta is going to have a turnover, and it's another interception for Lindsey Scott Jr. It's just going to be his 4th of the season.
Guys, that's one you really can't blame on the quarterback. It was in and out of the hands of the receiver and just turned into a tip drill.
It was Jerry Smith who intercepted it. He fumbled it, but Jalen Stanley fell on it at the 41-yard line of EMCC. So Delta has a short field, Charlie, trailing 7-0 with 11:19 to go in the first quarter.
Well, Glenn, I think you're exactly right, by the way. Anytime, if there's a really dangerous place to fail to secure a ball by a receiver, it's over the middle because you got safeties back deep, and that one just got tipped up in the air, a nice interception.
EMCC with a 4-man front false start. The slot receiver here to the near side, Larry Ferguson, is going to jump a little bit early, just kind of lean forward. So it's going to be a 1st down and 15 after they back him up back to the 46-yard line of EMCC. Delta's moving from left to right. As they had a 3-and-out just a moment ago and had to punt it away. And on the first play from scrimmage, EMCC with the ball tipped up in the air had it intercepted then fumbled, but recovered by Delta. Twin receivers either side, ball middle of the field. Now EMCC is going to jump off sides, no flag. They didn't touch anybody, and Delta didn't move. Here's the snap to McAfee in the shotgun, has pressure, screen pass, left side caught, and getting inside the 40 is going to be hit around the 39. It goes out of bounds. It's going to be Malcolm Shirley, the tailback out of Greenville, Mississippi.
Yeah, nice job that time, gain of 6 yards. And, wow, I'm still not sure how EMCC didn't get flagged on that play. You would have expected there to have been some contact because the defensive tackles didn't just get into the neutral zone. They were well across.
Well across, and I guess
but avoided contact apparently.
Didn't make contact. So second down and 9 to go. Spotted the football around the 40-yard line. 4-man front for EMCC. Got an edge rusher on the right side. EMCC ready to get in the backfield. Snap to McAfee, and it's off his hands, goes over his head. It's rolling into EMCC territory, and he's going to fall on it. Back at the EMCC the Delta 34-yard line, I beg your pardon. When I say going into EMCC territory, it went backwards. And so that's going to be a huge, huge loss for
about
Mississippi
27
Delta.
yards it looks like.
So a loss of 27. They needed 9. 3rd and 35 is the official yardage needed. And, boy, that's a killer for Delta. Just those little things that you just need to get right. You just can't have that against the CMCC defense. EMCC rushing 3 now, backing up 3 linebackers. They hand it off to Shirley on the snap. He goes around left side, tripped up around his own 41-yard line. So Mississippi Delta is going to have to punt this football away because it's going to be 4th and an eternity with under 10 to play here in the first quarter. Tyree Evans making the tackle for the Lions. So they spotted around the 41. So Delta is going to send their punter, LaDavian Smith, back out onto the field. And some people here near side yelling 3rd down, but it is 4th down. So Kirk Errett's going to trot out there to return this for the Lions. He'll stand at his own 25, middle of the field. Ball's placed over on the far hash, kicking from left to right. Now we have a whistle, and looks as if we have a timeout called. Not certain of who's called this timeout, as the white hat hasn't indicated it, but we'll take it with them regardless. 9:26 to go first quarter. 7-0 EMCC. After the turnover by the Lions, they're going to get the football back now after they're forcing Delta to punt the football away. And we'll have that punt when we return in 30 seconds. This is the EMCC Radio Network. It's so hard to get into a game here. You know?
They're going to say it's 3rd down.
Oh, it is 3rd down? Okay.
But they're wrong.
Davion Smith out there to kick this one away. Averages 40.5 yards per punt. He'll stand near his own 25 as he steps up now to the 26-yard line. Ball placed far hash. Here's the snap to him. Beautiful snap to the chest. He kicks it with his right foot, and it's going to angle to the left and angling over to get it towards the far sidelines. Kirk Merritt picks it up at the 10-yard line, and they bottle him up, but somehow he's able to fall forward for positive yardage, and they're going to say he's going to get back to the 15-yard line. So EMCC will have it 1st down and 10 to go from their own 15. Some would say, why don't you just let that ball go? But it was probably going to roll out of bounds, so he saved them 5 yards.
Yeah, no, that's true. Look, one of the biggest things about returning a punt isn't so much making a spectacular play. It's preventing a rollout, preventing a ball, and those little 5 yards in the course of a game can add up.
Lindsey Scott Jr. in the shotgun with twin receivers either side. Looks near side, throws it. It's caught by Dorian McLaurin and getting out across the 20-25-yard line and up close to the 30-yard line is going to be Mike Williams, I beg your pardon, not Dorian McLaurin. Mike Williams with the reception, knocking him off his feet. It's going to be Hennessy Thomas. Spotted the football. That's going to be the 29-yard line. First down, 10 to go for EMCC, their own 29. Back to pass, has great protection. Fires a wide open. Mike Williams caught it. He's across midfield. He is in Delta territory, and it's a foot race. He will win it. 10-5. Touchdown, Mike Williams. And EMCC is back on the board. 13-0 pending the PAT with 8:57 to go first quarter.
Hey, give credit right there to Jamori Mark. He was another receiver in the pattern. And after Williams had broken free, Mark gave a look as if he might double back and try to block somebody, but wisely let it go. It was set up so perfectly to get a penalty behind the play, but he held off, and that's a touchdown for Williams.
So Mike Williams catches his third touchdown through the air this season. Grayson Pontius out to attempt the PATs, 1 for 1 tonight. Snap by Wood, hold by Boykin, and it's through the uprights off the leg of Grayson Pontius, and EMCC leads at 14-0, 8:57 to go here in the first quarter of play. We'll be back to Moorhead with the kick to the Trojans in a moment. This is the EMCC Radio Network.
Two for 11 seconds.
I got it. McAfee is going to hand it off to Shirley. Shirley goes up the middle. He's going to get near the 30-yard line up to the 29, so it will be a gain of 4 on the play. Making the stop is Tyree Evans for the Lions. 14-0 EMCC, 8:40, 8:39. Clock rolling here in the first quarter in the Mississippi Delta. There's been a touchdown through the air and a touchdown on the ground. Lindsey Scott Jr. has thrown his 9th touchdown pass of the season. And that was just a possession ago. McAfee in the shotgun with twin receivers near side. Here's the snap. Going to leave it with Shirley. Shirley on the counter goes around left side. He's going to get out across the 30 up to about the 33-yard line. And there's going to be a pile of charcoal jerseys that EMCC's wearing. Mississippi Delta, by the way, wearing white pants, red jerseys, red helmets. EMCC with the white helmets with the traditional red EM logo on each side with the charcoal jerseys and pants. Lorenzo Dantzler from his left defensive end spot, the freshman from Starkville, Mississippi, will make the tackle. And so it's going to be 3rd down and 1 to go for EMCC. Close to the 35, or excuse me, for Mississippi Delta, I beg your pardon. EMCC out on defense now. Delta from their own 34-yard line has a yard to make. They've got to get to the 35, so EMCC is going to stack that line of scrimmage. Here's the snap to McAfee, leaves it with Shirley, goes around left side. Shirley is going to be hit, but he's going to have enough for a first down as he falls over the 35, gets up to the 36-yard line. So it's the first down for Mississippi Delta tonight.
And a smattering of applause here on the home sideline.
It's been a weird atmosphere tonight. And we're supposed to bring energy to the broadcast. Denzel Bonner will make the stop. We're supposed to be bringing energy to the broadcast, but a lot of times we'll feed off the atmosphere outside, and it's been dead. But it's 14-0, number one team in the country on top. Four-man front, the snap to McAfee, leaves it with Shirley. Shirley coming around near side, and he is going to be hit and tackled after about a yard gain up to about the 39-yard line.
Yeah, it was Clemens who came up and made a tackle. Very nice job of staying disciplined. Didn't allow a backside cut, but just got up then and grabbed Shirley by the ankle.
So the spot of the football is the 38-yard line, so a gain of 1 on the play. So it'll bring up now 2nd down and 9. We'll check in just a bit with Glenn Beard on the sidelines. Check the mood out, what it's like over there across the way. 6:30, clock rolling, first quarter, 14-0 EMCC. 2nd and 9 for Mississippi Delta. They're at the 38, their own 38. Bring him in from far side to near in motion. Here's the snap. They leave it with Shirley. Shirley tries to go around left side, bounces it up the middle, gets across the 40, and he's going to be stopped around the 41-yard line. So he's going to get a gain of about 3 yards on the play. So it's going to bring up now a 3rd down and 6.
Yeah, and that was Clemens again who made the tackle. Boy, you are really seeing the athleticism of this Lion defensive front. Just absolutely outstanding against the run here tonight.
So 3rd down and a long 5. We'll call it 3rd. Derek Smith, the tailback from Greenwood, 5'10", 175. He has shown some shifty running between the tackles. Ty Evans, coming from his secondary position, will make the stop, and that's the 4th first down unofficially for Mississippi Delta here in this first half. And timeout call by EMCC. We'll take it with them and check with Glenn Beard when we return. This is the EMCC Radio Network. Glenby Radio will come to you. 28-0.
Should we talk about the gumbo?
$28-0, the number one team in the country on top of Mississippi Delta here on the road. Glenn Beard on the sidelines now. Your observation of Mississippi Delta, how they've been able to kind of keep EMCC, I guess, honest defensively so far.
Yeah, Jason, they're mixing it up, not stretching the field by any stretch of the imagination, but just trying to make the game quick.
Snap, they leave it on the ground with Derek Thomas again, or Derek Smith, I should say, who gets inside the 40, and there's just a rugby play going on. Looks like a bunch of rugby players, and I beg your pardon, that's actually going to be Burkham. Now they're keeping fresh legs, and Shirley's going to back in there at tailback as he trots off the sideline. Rasheed Johnson will make the stop for EMCC, and it's another first down. First downs for Delta. They have it down at the EMCC 20. Charcoal wall that meets them at the line of scrimmage for no gain. And taking that football is Gary Ferguson, I believe. Emmanuel Bridges is going to make the stop.
So it's going to make it 3rd down and a long 5 yards to go. And you have to wonder here whether if you're Delta, you consider this 4-down territory or at the 35-yard line. And
that's a great observation.
Keep playing.
With the clock rolling, trip receivers here to the near side. McAfee's in the shotgun. EMCC showing pressure. They back up. McAfee does have to step up as he's got to get rid of the football quickly, and he throws it near side incomplete at the 31-yard line. LaDavian Smith was its intended receiver, so it will bring up a 4th down and 6 now. And it looks as if they're going to kick this one away, Charlie, as LaDavian Smith will back up in punter position. And do they show a fake here?
I think if you were going to try to convert, I'd be more likely just to keep my offense out there than to try something that's a trick play. The last thing you want to do is poke the Lion across the field.
No pun intended. Hills on the 10-yard line for Kirk Merritt, far hash. The snap, a good snap, and the kick is a high spiral that's going to bounce at the 10-yard line over on the far side, and it's going to roll inside the 5, and Mississippi Delta's got 3 guys over there, and they're going to down it inside the 5-yard line. It looks like the official standing at the 3. So Mississippi Delta downing EMCC inside. They're on 5, and they've got about 97 yards to go to pay dirt. 8:02 to go before halftime. It's 28-0. EMCC on top. Let's take a look at their touchdowns. They've been balanced. They've had 2 touchdowns through the air, 2 on the ground. Price scoring both those rushing touchdowns for EMCC. One, a long one, a 70-yarder the last time EMCC got in the end zone.
Yeah, just took it straight up the middle, and good job of running.
Here's the snap, going to leave it on the ground and bouncing off folks coming around near side and being tripped up around the 20-yard line. And that's going to be for EMCC. I think that, yes, it's Justin Connor. Connor's out there, the former Dandy Dozen out of North Panola High School, is going to take the football again on the handoff, and he's going to go behind left guard, and he's going to get up to about the 25. So it's going to be close to it was a first down just a moment ago, first down carry on a long run, and this time he's going to get up to about the 25-yard line, so he'll make it a 2nd and medium situation. Lindsey Scott Jr. surveys that defense. Now we'll take the snap. Everybody's going out for the pass, and now throwing it near side, and it's going to be incomplete as he was trying to find Tamoris Connor, the backup quarterback, 5'9", 170-pound sophomore from Macon. So it's going to bring up now a 3rd down and medium from their own 25-yard line. Brandon Rogers, who's been quiet so far in the first half, will be the wide out near side along with Tamoris Connor. Twin receivers to the left side, moving from left to right. Everybody goes out for the pass again and firing it short, and it's caught at the 29, getting out across the 30 up to about the 32. Is going to be Travion Jones, a receiver for EMCC, and now they're snapping the ball before the chains are set again. And it's going to be Connor again. It comes around near side, out across the 40. He's hit, but stays on his feet, and he's coming down the near sideline, and he's going to be knocked off his feet and out of bounds at around the 36-yard line near side. Actually, that's Reginald Hunter Jr. My buddy Stevens getting some young guys in here on this drive for the Lions.
Well, I like that because you've got a game where things can get a little bit dull if you're not careful. If you want to keep your team sharp, get some young guys out there, let them fight for a little playing time.
Some confusion defensively for Mississippi Delta. Some players trying to run off at the same time. One stays on. Connor back out there, tailback. He goes in pass protection. Scott all day to throw. Throws it deep down the field. He throws it into the end zone. He was looking for Brandon Rogers, but overthrew everybody. He had Rogers at the 5, and the pass goes sailing into the end zone, incomplete. 28-0 EMCC, but they are in Trojan territory. 2nd down, 10 to go from the 36 of the Trojans.
Don't be afraid to run the football here on 2nd and 10. That's not a bad spot to run the football.
They leave it with Connor on the ground after taking the snap by Scott. He hands it off to him, and he tries to go down the far hash. As he went around left side, he gets down to the 31-yard line, so gain of 5 on that play, and it's going to bring up now a 3rd down and medium. 6:10, 6:09, clock rolling here in the 2nd quarter. Twin receivers will be here to the near side, making the stop, by the way, just a second ago, Caleb Silas for Mississippi Delta. Twin receivers either side. Wide side of the field is near side. The snap, Scott throws it right, and it's tipped up in the air. It was a screen pass looking for Justin Connor, and tipping it up in the air is going to be Hennessy Thomas. Thomas was coming after Scott, and when Scott got rid of it, he just tipped it away.
Well, he did a nice job getting his hands up that time. That's one of the things when you come on pressure. If you can't get to the quarterback, at least get your hands up in the air. Try to bat a pass down.
So 4th down and 5 to go for EMCC. 5:48 to go in the 2nd quarter. 28-0. Lions on top. Spotted the football at the 31 of the Trojans. Twin receivers either side again. Up, and there's a false start over on the left side of that offensive line, and that's going to back EMCC up 5 yards, so it's a 4th and 10 from the 35 of Mississippi Delta, and EMCC wants to talk about it. So timeout Lions, 5:47 to go, 28-0 here in the first half. We're in the 2nd quarter of play. This is the EMCC Radio Network. I just want to go to sleep. I'm bored. Are you oh, good, you got scores.
To go. They're at the 31-yard line on the Delta end of the football field. 5:47 to go in the first half and leading 28-0.
We'll give you scores from around MAC-JC play here momentarily. Charlie has those ready. EMCC now on 4th down and 5. Back to pass as the pocket collapses, throwing it, and it's off the fingertips near side, near hash of Rogers. Running the post pattern, Charlie. Lindsey Scott fired it in there, and it went off his hands.
Yeah, it looked like it might have been a little bit behind him. Glenn, you might have had a better angle, but it looked like just a tough pass to haul in, but one you want to see caught.
Yeah, guys, Lindsey Scott's leaving a lot of passes high. His front shoulders getting up in the air, and a lot of the passes you'll notice are sailing on him a little bit. And if he'll get that front shoulder down, they'll come on down just a little bit.
Check some scores real quick around the state right now. Northwest leading Holmes 13-7 at the half. Hines over Gulf Coast 28-14. That ball game at the half. Colin leading East Central 24-14. Also a halftime score. And Itawamba leading Pearl River 7-3. That's in the second quarter.
1st and 10 now from their own 31. That's a false start slot receiver near side. Is going to take a step forward.
Two other games real quick to give you an update. Oklahoma leading Northeast 10-7. And Jones leading Southwest 37-13 in the second quarter.
You know, Glenn, we've talked about the false start penalties tonight for both teams. It's not like it's a loud environment in here tonight.
Yeah, the quiet out has ended, but it's not. It's just one of those things, guys. You're up 28-0. You kind of lose focus. You got to really bear down and concentrate on doing those little things.
So here's the snap on 1st and 15 from their own 25 or 26-yard line. And Shirley's just making him miss, but he gets tackled from behind at the 31. So he's going to be able to get those 5 yards back. And so it's now 2nd and 10 after the gain of 5 by Malcolm Shirley. 5'10", 217, making the tackle Eric Kitchen. Ball placed on the near hash, which is the left hash, moving right to left. Spot of the football, their own 31. On 2nd and 10 now, 5:05, clock rolling, second quarter. Snap to McAfee, fakes the give to Shirley, and they throw it near side to Mystery Man, and he's going to be tripped off his feet at the 31. And we'll start calling him Charlie Winfield.
I think Anderson.
Anderson,
yeah.
You got it right. All right.
But in any event, Jason, not a lot going right here for Mississippi Delta, though they have threatened to get 100 yards of offense. They have 30 plays and 99 yards.
So 3rd and 9 after the gain of 1.
So they're over their average.
Coming in, though, with 393 given up per game on defense. Snap at the waist, taken by McAfee, throws it right side off the hands of Shirley, incomplete at the 26 on the screen pass. So it'll bring up a 4th down and 9, and they got to kick this one away. They're deep in their own territory, their own 32-yard line. So with 4:14 to go first half, here in the second quarter, clock's going to stop on the incomplete pass, and Davion Smith is going to stand near hash to kick this one away. Kirk Merritt comes out there. Kirk Merritt, all-purpose yards so far, 415, averaging 103, close to 104 per game. The snap is back. Smith gets his foot into it, and Merritt's going to angle to his left, take it 35-yard line, has it on the far sideline, gets a couple of great blocks, and he is going to be pushed out of bounds somewhere in the neighborhood of the 40-yard line of Mississippi Delta. So nice return that time by
Merritt. It was, and he caught it with a head of steam and thought for a minute. The Lions done a nice job setting up a wall of blockers across the way, but one guy got through, but still a big return for the Lions. They have favorable position. They've got it at the 41 of Mississippi Delta, leading 28-0. 4:02 to play in the first half.
Twin receivers here to the near side. Scott all day to throw. Fires it deep towards the end zone, near side, and it's tipped away at the 3-yard line. And it's incomplete, and coming up and making the Big play is going to be to Keenan Boyd, 5'9" defensive back from Gunnison, Mississippi.
Well, that was a nice job in coverage that time by Boyd. Scott had plenty of time to throw, tried to hang one up in the corner for Crowell, but nice job by Boyd just forcing him into the sidelines and out of bounds.
Trips left, one receiver near side. The snap looking left, throws left on the screen pass, and getting tripped up inside the 40. At about the 38-yard line is the ball carrier for EMCC, and I believe that is Calvin Keys Jr. It was Calvin Keys Jr., so it's going to bring up now a 3rd down and 7. Making the tackle is going to be Terrence Harris for Mississippi Delta. Twin receivers here to the near side, trips near side, I should say. The snap to Scott, he's looking near side, now flushed down to the pocket, rolls to the left, pump fakes, and is going to keep it himself, gets the far sideline. Thought they were going to push him out of bounds around the line of scrimmage, but he fights for more yardage and gets somewhere around the 32-yard line, which is going to be close to a 1st down. He's not going to have it. It's going to bring up 4th down. Depends on the spot of the football, though, Glenn, and knocking him out of bounds, Darius Gainwell. Well, they're going to say he stepped out of bounds just shy of the 35. So it's 4th down and 5. EMCC play action. Slant caught. It's near the sticks, and he's not going to have enough for a 1st down. It is caught. It's Dorian McLaurin, but he's going to be stopped around the 32, just shy of the 31-yard line. So it will be Mississippi Delta football with 3:04 to go before halftime. And all of a sudden, Mississippi Delta, even though they're trailing 28-0, boy, they've got a lot more fire to them on the near sideline, and they've really played well here in the second quarter of play. I guess moral victories still exist.
Well, that was a nice job that time again. I thought EMCC did a good job connecting on the pass. Just needed one more half a step there to pick up the 1st down, but the ball goes over. It's back-to-back drives. The Lions haven't converted on 4th down, and now Delta will get their offense back on the field, looking to break that century mark in yardage.
And certainly have played with a lot more fire in this game. Mississippi Delta's doesn't seem as outmatched as they were 2 years ago. Certainly outmatched, but not as bad, at least here in the first half. They've played with a little bit more gumption. Shirley didn't get it. It was play action by McAfee. Fires it over the field, and it is knocked away by Ty Williams. Boy, at the EMCC 35-yard line. Goodness, as getting behind the defense was Deliqua McCoy.
We're going to have holding, though, I believe, Glenn.
And I didn't see the flag. Glenn, where's the flag thrown at? Oh, I see it now. It's around the 26, 27-yard line.
Yeah, it looked like the left tackle just did a full takedown on the defensive end.
That's exactly what happened there. Charlie, just anytime you got a quarterback dancing around like that and we haven't got to him with the defensive lineman that we have, you know something's up, you know?
All right, so they're going to back it up now inside the 25, and they're going to place it down about the 22-yard line. 2:56 on the clock, and it is stopped before halftime here in the second quarter. 28-0 EMCC with the lead at Jim Randall Stadium. Twin receivers near side, one to the far. McAfee's going to be in the shotgun. McAfee with the snap. He's going to hand it off to Shirley. Shirley comes near side, has a man in the backfield. It's going to try to drag him down, and then a bunch of charcoal jerseys come and assist. And they will stop his forward progress at the 19-yard line. Leading the way for EMCC is going to be Aaron Boatwright. Boatwright comes in, the sack leader for EMCC, by the way. Well, along with Eric Kitchens, both have 3 sacks coming in. So both leading this team. And as we mentioned, EMCC came in defensively with 37 tackles behind the line of scrimmage. They've had a couple tonight. So nearing 40, if not over 40 already. 2:20, 2:19. Clock rolling here in the first half. Yes, second quarter. 28-0 EMCC on top. 19-yard line is the spot of the football, their own 19. The snap to McAfee, rolls to his right, gets into traffic, now fires it to Shirley on the screen pass. He's going to be hit in the backfield, and he's going to get up and try to come around near side, hit again, and finally dropped around the 16-yard line. So it's going to bring up a 3rd down and forever. It was a 2nd and 23 just a moment ago, and they're going to make it 3rd down and 24. He lost a yard back of the 18. Under 2 minutes to play, and clock rolling here in the first half. EMCC up by 4 touchdowns. Coming up at the half, we'll take a look around the Southeastern Conference on SEC Update. Charlie Winfield will have stats for you. And that'll be our halftime report. We'll hear from Buddy Stevens as Glenn Beard will be down on the field, joined by him in about another minute and 25 seconds of game clock to be chewed off. Clock rolling now as they start it up. 5 on the play clock. McAfee is going to have his right tackle, I beg your pardon, that's going to be his, right tackle is going to, another false start. That's his second, and they just continue to go backwards. It's going to be 3rd and 29 after the penalty yardage is marked off back at the 12. Do you have a 3rd and 29 play as far as?
Yeah, this is where you
middle cross.
Yeah, well, this is an ICC.
Well, this is where you hope the other team commits a face mask. You want something with an automatic first down involved.
So 3rd and 29. They're in the shadow of their own goalpost, backing more towards the west, moving from west to east now, which is right to left. They leave it with Shirley. Shirley tries to bounce it to the outside, and he's going to be tripped up literally at the 20-yard line. So he'll gain 8 yards on the play, but he needed 21 more. So it's going to be fourth down and 21 to go.
And you know what's happening.
Yeah, 40 seconds on the clock.
And timeout, EMCC.
Boy, deja vu. EMCC calls the timeout, their 3rd and final timeout.
Well, a little bit different in the sense,
sure,
Glenn, that 2 years ago, I think it was a 42-0 game or something like that at the time. But right now, maybe it was 49-0. But right now you're dealing with a ball game that's 28-0. We don't even have the buddy rule in effect yet. So
10 more points.
From my seat here, worth a timeout to save a little bit of time.
Sure. And you, at this point, the way Delta has had, even though they haven't scored any points, they've kind of had the momentum in the second quarter. And trailing 4 touchdowns, yes, but you want your team to get focused again, and they're certainly capable of being focused and scoring points at will. Standing at his own 5 is going to be the punter, Latavian Smith for Mississippi Delta. Ball placed on the right hash. Standing on the left hash, inside his own 40, is going to be Kirk Merritt, the return man, and it's a low sidewinder. Got to be careful fielding this one. He does field it at the 39-yard line. Tries to get a block. He gets some blockers, gets to the edge near side. It's going to be slowed up at the 40. He's hit again, and finally hit and brought to the ground. And he's going to be able to gain a yard. He ran about 7 yards to get that yard to the near side.
Yeah, and look, you don't want to fault a guy for trying to make a play, but you did have 15 seconds run off the clock that time. And so now just 25 seconds, no timeouts for the Lions. So you're going to have to be working past the sticks, something that would stop the clock, albeit temporarily, or you've got to be working something on the edges.
4-man front for Delta, twin receivers either side for EMCC. Snap from their own 40, throws it sideline, near side, caught by Rogers, breaks a tackle, breaks another tackle, and he's running inside the 30. He is going to be stepping out of bounds somewhere between the 31 and 30-yard line of Mississippi Delta. So 16 seconds on the clock, and this is very manageable for this EMCC offense, and the offensive line is already up at the 30-yard line. As Scott will have trip receivers wide side of the field to the left. Here's the snap. He's looking left side, still looking left side. Fires it left side as a man. That's Drummond. Catches it, gets out of bounds quickly inside the 20-yard line, close to the 15. I think he's going to step out at the 16-yard line with 9 seconds to go, Charlie.
All right, you've got time to take one throw at the end zone here, and if you can't, you'd like the incompletion and maybe get your field goal unit out onto the field.
Twin receivers near side. Ball placed left hash, moving left to right. Scott has a man in motion. Mike Williams from far side to near, looking near side. Now looks over the middle of the field, keeps it himself to the left side. Is going to walk out of bounds inside the 15, about the 14-yard line. So there's 3 seconds left. That'll set up a field goal attempt. Spotted the football, the 14. So a 31-yard attempt coming up now by Grayson Pontius. Grayson Pontius has yet to attempt a field goal this season. He'll be kicking from the left hash. He's a righty. So he sizes up the uprights. Wood will snap it to Boykin. It's a 31-yard attempt. We'll await the snap back. Here it comes. Here's the kick, and it's a high end-over-end kick that's going to go right through the uprights as time expires. And EMCC will lead it 31-0 here at the half in Moorhead. We'll be back in 1 minute to start our halftime show. This is the EMC. Oh, wait, let's go down on the field. I believe Glenn Beard's got Buddy Stevens. He does have Buddy Stevens.
Thanks, Jason. Down here with head football coach Buddy Stevens. Coach Stevens, the 2-minute drill worked to perfection right there. Got points out of it right at the end.
Yeah, it's about more like a 45-second drill, but we shot ourselves in the foot a bunch. We're not executing on a couple of things offensively. Defensively, we're giving up way too much. So we got to tighten up a little bit right there. Hopefully, we'll do that in the second half. But happy, not happy. We still got to play hard. I'm not happy with the enthusiasm and just the get after itness of what we're doing right now.
All right, thanks, Coach. There you go, Jason. He's not happy with the get after itness.
All right, thank you, Glenn. We appreciate it. All right, back in 1 minute with SEC update, and following that, we'll have Charlie Winfield with some stats and scores from around MAC-JC play. This is the EMCC Radio Network.
first half. Mississippi Delta 18 carries, 50 yards. The Lions VMC had 282 yards through the air, 21 of 31 passing by the quarterback Lindsey Scott. So 21 of 31, 282 yards. He had 2 touchdowns, 1 interception. Was not sacked in the first half of play for Mississippi Delta. Ty McAfee, 8 of 16, 52 yards passing, along of 14. Time of possession favored Mississippi Delta, as it typically does the opponents of the Lions. They like to play fast. Their opponents typically slow. Mississippi Delta held it for 19 minutes in that first half of play. Lions holding it for 11. Third down conversions, Lions were 5 of 8. Mississippi Delta was 3 of 11. The Lions actually went for it on fourth down 3 times, converted 1, and Mississippi Delta attempting no fourth down conversions. Red zone, Delta had no chances. They didn't make it to the red zone. The Lions made it there 3 times, and they came away with points on all 3 of those possessions. Leading rusher in the first half for the Lions of EMCC, Tyrell Price, who had 94 yards on 6 carries, an average of 16 per carry. For Mississippi Delta, the running back Shirley had 35 yards on 10 carries, an average of 3.5. So Mississippi Delta, East Mississippi at the half, a 31-0 football game. And the Lions will be kicking off when second half play resumes. Both teams have made their way back to the playing surface. The Trojans of Mississippi Delta warming up to our left, the Lions of EMCC warming up to our right, and we are not far from getting this second half of activity underway.
All right, thank you, Charlie. Let's go down to Glenn Beard on the sidelines now as we bring him in here on the halftime report. Glenn, just kind of the body language of EMCC coming out of the locker room from your point of view. What do you think were some of the things Buddy Stevens maybe talked to his group about, and what do you expect to see EMCC improved on in the second half?
Well, Jason, they want to just do the little things, cut out the false starts, just survive and not have any nitpicky penalties, and at all costs avoid the injuries, and just get out of here healthy as can be, and with a nice, comfortable victory, and just get ready for next week against Holmes. You've got your hands full against a Holmes team that's ranked number 3 in the country. Of course, they're having trouble right now with Northwest at the end of 3, down 20-7.
Just what did you notice when you looked at the defense? It maybe were some things that they weren't quite doing right that Cliff Collins is going to get corrected in the second half.
Well, they were having trouble with the fold play, which is a little run play that Delta was running. They were folding the offensive tackle inside the guard there, something you don't see very often. But against East Mississippi, you're able to do that because our ends get upfield so fast, you really don't have to worry about them. So Cliff's going to tighten them down a little bit and have them coming off the edge of the offensive tackle, and that'll make them squeeze down, and that'll take away that run right there. That's basically the only running play that Delta had in the first half, but they hit it a couple times pretty good.
Great observation. Good stuff. Thank you, Glenn, for that report down on the sidelines. We'll be checking in with him periodically here in the second half as they put 15 minutes up on the scoreboard. Mississippi Delta now getting settled in on the sideline near side. Buddy Stevens has his group between the 15 and 25-yard line across the way from us, just slightly to our right, as they're going over some final instructions out of the locker room as Mississippi Delta will receive the football to start this second half. EMCC will be kicking from right to left. Grayson Pontius, how about him? He's been filling in for, of course, Taylor Crabtree tonight, who's out with some flu-like symptoms, so we wish you a speedy recovery, Mr. Crabtree. And the special teams unit, always so entertaining and so fun with this EMCC football team. They were a part of the focus on Inside the Pride last week. I certainly enjoyed that from Matt Milner and company. And Grayson Pontius is having to handle all the duties, punting, kickoffs, and, of course, extra points and field goals. And he's 1 for 1 on field goals tonight as he hit a 31-yarder as time expired.
Jason, if I will, I talked with the special teams guys and talked with Taylor and asked him, how are you doing and all that, and he said, well, he's got a little bronchitis, so that's why he's out. But he said, mainly I want Grayson to start pulling his load around here. You know, he's been off for the last 4 weeks, so that's, you know, little shots fired back and forth there.
Hey, look, those two are very entertaining on Twitter with the EMCC specialist Twitter handle, and there's a high end over end kick. Angles over on the far side, taking 5-yard line and 10-yard line, now up to the 15 and hit hard, and that is Antonio Oliver who's going to return it back up to the 10, about a
that was Justin Connor who got down there to make the tackle, and boy, just turned the return man around.
So it's about a 10-yard return up to the 15-yard line. Just over the 15, close to the 16 is where the nose of the football will rest as we get started here in the second half. 14:51 to go. EMCC out there on defense. Here comes this Delta unit. I want to thank those who have been tuned in since the start. I want to thank those who may be just joining us. It's 31-0 EMCC, the #1 ranked team in the country. On the road tonight here in the Mississippi Delta. Moorhead is the site. Jim Randall Stadium is the playing surface. These two teams are battling it out on the gridiron tonight as Delta takes the snap. They fake it to Shirley. Throw it over the middle, wide open, 30-yard line up to the 35, making a man miss. He gets out across the 40, middle of the field, and he's not down, still on his feet, across the 45 up to about the 47-yard line. That's the best play, most positive play of the night for Mississippi Delta, and making the reception is going to be Raheem Moore, 6'2", 225-pound freshman. On play action, caught it over the middle. Ontario Johnson is going to make the stop. So,
yeah, and they're going to back him up and say that he was down, had his forward progress stop back along the 42-yard line. But, boy, it looked like one of those classic type plays where the guy being tackled just rolls over the defender and keeps going. Yeah. But they're going to say he was down.
So they'll spot it back at the 42-yard line, their own 42. Ty Williams in on the play as well. 4-man front for EMCC, and boy, they're in the backfield, and McAfee has to run for his life, goes up the middle now, tries to bounce to the outside left side, and they're going to tackle him around the 44-yard line, so he gets 2 yards out of it. Second down and 8. Ontario Johnson will make this stop again, so back-to-back tackles for him. 13:55 to go, third quarter. Putting the football away now will be Mississippi Deltas. They're going to bring their offense off the field. Punting unit on. LaDavion Smith will back up as the punter. He's also a receiver on the team. He'll stand with his heels on the 30-yard line near hash. And now we have a new return man. It's not Kirk Merritt. And it's going to be DJ Clayton back there to receive this punt. He'll stand with his heels near the 15-yard line. Waiting the snap from his own 46 is Smith. Calls for the football. It's a low snap. Hits the ground. He picks it up and almost had it blocked. And now we're going to get a running into the kicker penalty as the ball's going to roll inside the 15, now inside the 10. And it was some contact, but nothing of the malicious form. So we'll see, though, what they call here.
Oh, they're going to call the malicious form, I believe.
Oh, goodness gracious. Are you kidding me? They're going to call roughing the kicker. So it will be first down, Mississippi Delta. And, Glenn, that's just the kind of plays that Buddy Stevens will get so aggravated about. You're about to get the ball back and just – you got a little aggressive there, and I understand it, but now EMCC will have to go back out there on defense. And this defense, they can't come out of the locker room even though they've had some rest and get gassed already here in the first part of the third quarter.
Well, it's going to be a first down. Jason moves it to the 39-yard line on the Lions side of the football field. 12:26 to go, and biggest threat so far by Delta, operating with a first down.
The snap from the EMCC 39. They leave it on the ground and going straight between the tackles and staying on his feet and getting down to the 31-yard line is going to be Kirkham. Marquavius Kirkham is 5'8", 225, a sophomore on this team. Kilo Swinney will knock him off his feet coming up from the secondary spot. You don't want your DBs tackling running backs often. And that's a positive play there of 8 yards, so it's 2nd and 2. Snap for the near hash. They leave it with Kirkham again, goes straight up the middle. That's the first down. He's going to get inside the 25, down to the 24-yard line.
Yeah, I like the way he runs the ball. Just Kirkham, a guy who just kind of pushes it, puts his head down and pushes. And he pushed for a first down that time.
The Laurel, Mississippi product, Tyrone Clemens, 6'3", 270, makes the stop. First down, 10 to go from the 24 of the Lions. Ball placed near hash still. Receiver either side. 2 backs flanked to either side of McAfee. Takes a snap, and he's going to leave it on the ground and going straight up the middle and getting down to about the 22-yard line is going to be Kirkham again. Boy, they're giving EMCC's defense a steady diet of Kirkham. And Cole Baker will make the stop from his defensive tackle position. He'll gain 3 yards on the play as Kirkham, so it's 2nd down and 7 now. Spot of the football officially the 22-yard line, as that's where his knee goes down. Of EMCC, ball on the right hash. McAfee slowing things down a bit, 15 on the play clock. Now 14, now 13. They'll snap it at 12, and they'll leave it with Swinney. Swinney goes behind left guard, and he's going to fight for more yardage as he gets inside the 20. And one thing Mississippi Delta has done is shown some toughness on the ground here as of late, and he's going to get down to the 19. It's going to bring up a very third and manageable distance. Tyree Evans will make the stop. So it's 3rd and 4 after picking up 3 yards on the play. So it's 3rd down and a manageable 4 for this Mississippi Delta offense, Charlie, that just keeps chipping away. And we just, since the second quarter, have seen a lot of renewed confidence. They have held EMCC, other than the field goal, scoreless since 11:32 to go in the second quarter. They've kept them out of the end zone, so to speak. Back to pass, pocket collapses, fired it to the end zone. Back corner, incomplete. Looking for Raheem Moore was McAfee, and that's going to bring up now 4th down. And I don't know if they're going to go for this or try to kick the field goal. Looks as if their field goal kicker, Harris Hohenstein, was trotting to the near side with his strapping his helmet on. We'll see what they're going to do.
I think
here.
he was trying to beg his way into the football game. But it appears that the offense is going to stay on the field. They're going to go for it here on 4th down from the EMCC 19-yard line.
They haven't attempted a lot of field goals. 0 for 1 is Hohenstein here this season. Trips left side, 1 near side. Ball near hash. 4-man front for the Lions. Here's the snap. McAfee has pressure. Fires it incomplete at the 15-yard line. EMCC will take over at their own 19. That pressure that time, Glenn, got him.
Absolutely, Jason. As we saw, number 92, that's Aaron Boatwright. He's 6'5", 235, I think is what he's listed at. He's not as heavy as we're used to seeing on that defensive line, but he can really go.
Yeah, he gets back there in a hurry, and a lot of pressure that time on the quarterback, forced the quick throw. And now let's see what the Lions can do. They take over, 10 minutes to go in the 3rd.
Lindsey Scott takes a snap, turns to his right quickly, throws the screen pass, and EMCC's going to have a first down as they get out across the 30-yard line. Of course, pass is complete up to about the 32, making the reception Daniel Kroll Jr., 6'2", 210 out of Meridian, Mississippi. Lions are going to come up on the football at the 32, their own 32. Ball right hash. Scott with twins near side. We'll leave it on the ground. Price tries to come around left end. Price is going to be hit and spun around and dropped, but after a yard gain up to about the 33. So that's going to bring up now a 2nd down and 9 situation for the Lions. 9:32, clock rolling here in the 3rd quarter. EMCC up 31-0 with football possession. Trips right, wide side of the field. Price flanked to the left of Scott, who's back to pass. Fires it long over on the right side, and it is complete. And when I said long, I meant back across the field as he throws it complete at about the 38-yard line. So it's going to bring up a 3rd down, Charlie. And it looks like it's going to be a 3rd down and 4 situation.
Well, you have to really trust the strength of your quarterback's arm on a pass like that, because that ball is kind of going lateral a long ways.
So 3rd down and 4 to go. Snap of the football from their own 38. Give it to Price. Goes around right side and just pulls his way for a 1st down. And he's going to get out across the 45, and he's going to be somewhere in the neighborhood of the 48-yard line. We'll see where they spot it momentarily. But, Charlie, we've talked about Tyrell Price, and he has 11 touchdowns on the ground this year. His body is built for strength, but his legs also have speed, and he's just a bull of a runner out there. EMCC ready to snap it. Spotted the football, their own 47. Bubble screen near side, caught by Daniel Cole. Face mask, and penalty flags go flying everywhere as they tackle him at the 48 after a yard gain, but tack on 15 more, Charlie.
Yeah, boy, as the announcer says here, there is some laundry on the field. And, boy, it's going to take a while to pick up all that laundry. There were 3 or 4 that came flying, but, yeah, very clear tackling by the face mask that time, so that's a major infraction. And we'll move the football to the 37-yard line on the Delta side of the football field. And, you know, we keep seeing EMCC throwing to those outside receivers basically at the line of scrimmage. Let's see if they don't pump and look long here.
Snap for the 38 of Delta, stepping up in the pocket after pressure, firing it near side, caught by Dorian McLaurin at the 30-yard line, spun around and to the ground, down about the 28 of Delta. So a gain of about 9 on the play.
Yeah, that was Hennessy Thomas who made the tackling. Boy, that is a name we have called all night long. He is all over the field for Delta.
2nd and 1, twin receivers right. Calvin Keys Jr. in motion from near side to far. Now we have a stoppage of play and a penalty flag here. Play clock's at 20, so that's not it. We have a false start on EMCC, so that's going to back him up 5 yards, Glenn.
It's going to be a false start against number 75. That's Walter Barnes. He's 6'2", 275 out of Charleston.
Yeah, we lost Glenn. We'll hear from him again shortly. 2nd down and 6 now after the penalty.
Well, he did pick up some unhappiness from Buddy Stevens down on the sidelines.
Calvin Keys Jr. in motion near side to far again. Oh, and he's hit as Lindsey Scott spins away from it somehow. Stays on his feet inside the 30. Dancing around for the 1st down. Bounces to the outside numbers. He's inside the 10, 5. He leaps. Touchdown. Oh, my goodness. How in the world did he escape that pressure?
Yeah, they're going to think. Are they going to call it a touchdown?
It is a touchdown.
Yes, touchdown, guys. Touchdown.
Oh, that was unbelievable. There was very heavy pressure that came up the middle, and Scott just took a shot.
A huge shot.
And just spun off of it. Boy, that is a highlight film play right there.
Oh, my goodness.
Yeah, he made a dive from about 4 yards out, and I wasn't sure if he was going to get into the end zone or not. I saw the pylon go flying, which is generally a good sign.
You have someone on the offensive line late coming in on this.
And that's not a good sign.
No, it's not, but everything's ready to go. 13 on the play clock, so plenty of time. 10 on the play clock now is Wood about to snap this football back to Boykin. Here's the hold, and it is through the uprights, a good off the leg of Grayson Pontius, and it is now 38-0, which means we should run the clock soon. The clock is stopped right now with 7:20 to go in the 3rd quarter. It's all EMCC here in Moorhead. Back at 30, this is the EMCC Radio Network. Gateway.
In 2 minutes and 41 seconds, and the Lions of EMCC have grabbed their 38th point of this ball game, and important by virtue of that fact is that the clock will now run. The Buddy rule has been invoked.
The dreaded Buddy rule, and there's a low line drive kick, and it's going to go all over Oliver's head slightly. He threw his hands up like he was going to touch it, then I think he just kind of said, you know what, I'm going to let it go by. And it's going to go out of the back of the end zone, so that's a smart move. Delta's going to start at their own 25, moving left to right. Let's go down on the field to Glenn Beer. Glenn, you saw it field level. What in the world did it look like from field level on that touchdown run by Scott?
Oh, it was amazing, Jason. As the pocket collapsed, he was hit from right in front, and then somehow spun away, and then everybody got into the wall and came back to their quarterback to block from behind. So you had some peel back blocks, and then Lindsey Scott, he started smelling the end zone about the 10-yard line, and he left his feet about the 4 and got in.
Thank you, Glenn. Snap, and the handoff for the 25 is going to go to Shirley. He's going to get up to about the 29-yard line, so gain of 4 on the play. So that'll bring up now 2nd down and 6 for Mississippi Delta. 38-0. EMCC on top. Clock rolling with 5:20 to go in the third quarter. Emmanuel Bridges will make the stop.
Yeah, continuing to get good play by the Lion defensive front here tonight and making running yards tough to come by for Delta, but first down, they've done pretty well tonight. They've gotten 3 or 4 yards. They just have not been able to sustain that later in the down sequence.
Here's the snap to McAfee on the option. Keeps it near side, out across the 35, going up the numbers to the 40, up to around the 42-yard line, maybe the 43 when the dust settles, and that's a nice run. It kind of reminded me of Sleepy Robinson at Mississippi State back in the early 90s. Lorenzo Dantzler there with the tackle.
Nice job running the option that time, just able to sneak past the defender, just kind of found a little bit of a crease and jumped through it.
And he wasn't even thinking about pitching that football. It was quarterback keeper all the way on the option, play to the near side. 4:22. Clock rolling here in the third quarter. 38-0. EMCC on top. Kirkham's going to receive the football, and he's got some real estate up the middle, gets into Lion territory. He's a first down, and he's going to rumble his way down to the 45-yard line. Boy, these tailbacks, surely the starting tailback's been impressive at times, but he's not been as impressive as Kirkham here in the second half.
Yeah, I really like the effort he's played with here tonight. He has gotten low, gotten behind his pads, and just has fought for every bit of yardage he can get. And somebody along that Lion sideline sees something they don't like, they will ask for and take a timeout. 38-0, the score, third quarter, 3:56 to go. We'll be back in 30 seconds. You're listening to EMCC Football. EMCC have taken a timeout to address some things they see along their defensive front that they are not comfortable with. But in any event, leading 38-0, will get their defense back on the field, and Delta will be over the football at the 45.
The 45 of the Lions. Kirkham's going to no, it's an option. McAfee pitches it near side. Probably should have given it to Kirkham. And he's going to pitch it to Derek Smith, who hasn't carried the football in a while, and he's going to lose yardage, about 2 yards back to the 47. So that's going to bring up now a 2nd down and 12 situation. EMCC getting in the backfield, playing assignment football there on the option.
Yeah, did a nice job staying at home that time. Linebacker in the defensive end here on the near side did a good job taking the quarterback and getting somebody out on the pitch man. Loss of 2 brings up 2nd and 12.
Ball placed near hash, twin receivers left side. The snap, play action, looking left side, rolling left slightly, motioning it to his receiver to keep running. Now he's going to keep it himself. He's got the first down and more as he's going to get near the 30-yard line. He's going to step out of bounds about the 31 of EMCC, taking it to the left side, down the left sideline. McAfee with the quarterback keeper.
Yeah, again, McAfee showing a lot of athleticism, doing a good job just pulling it down and getting up the field. Really impressed by McAfee's ability to scramble.
Tyree Evans will force him out of bounds at the 31. 2:38, 2:37, clock rolling. Third quarter, 38-0 EMCC, but Delta's threatening as they're down to the 31 of EMCC with the first down and 10 to go. Play action to Derek Smith, firing it over the middle, has a man, and it's tipped off his fingertips at the 10. And he was looking for Larry Ferguson. I think he may have thrown a little bit behind him. He got his hand up and deflected the football, but EMCC wasn't in position to pick it out of the air. So 2nd down and 10 to go for the 31 of the Lions for the Trojans. And if Delta gets in the end zone, it'll stop that clock for a while, at least until EMCC can get back into the end zone.
Well, let's hope against that.
2nd and 10, McAfee in the gun. Takes a snap at the chest, pulls it down, and is going to give it to Shirley. Goes around left end, staying on his feet as he gets down to the 25 as he's tackled there.
Another player for Delta losing a helmet. That's been a bit of an epidemic for them tonight.
It has been. You're exactly
Have
right.
to invest in some chin straps here.
Denzel Bonner is going to make the stop at the 25-yard line, so it's 3rd down and 4 to go. Got to get down to that 21-yard line of EMCC for Delta to get a first down. And this is definitely 4-down territory for them. So they have 2 more downs to get 4 yards. And they're going to come up on the football with 10 to snap it. There's 1:10 to go, 3rd quarter. Twin receivers either side. Wide side of the field is to our near side. The snap to McAfee, inside pressure, fires it over the middle, and it's caught at the 20-yard line and getting down to the 19 for a first down is Mississippi Delta.
Boy, and it wasn't for a failure of the Lions to bring pressure because they brought heat from a lot of different angles, but a nice job by McAfee just standing in there and making the pass.
LaDevion Smith says, hey, I can do something other than punt the football. He catches a first down reception down to the 18. Denzel Bonner knocks him off his feet. 32 seconds left in this 3rd quarter. 1st and 10 to go. Down to the 18. They're going to leave it on the ground. Going straight up the middle is Kirkham, and he's going to get down to about the 15, so a gain of 3 on the play. That'll bring up a 2nd and 7, and we may not get another snap off in the 3rd quarter. 17 seconds, now 16 seconds. Making the stop is Eric Kitchen. And Delta is resigned to the fact they're not going to snap it again in the 3rd quarter, and why do so? It's 2nd down and a long 6 coming up when we start the 4th quarter, and Delta is down to the EMCC 15. This is the EMCC Radio Network.
Activity here in Moorhead, Mississippi. The Lions of EMCC, a 38-0 lead in the football game, but they see Mississippi Delta at their 15-yard line, 2nd down and 6 to go. So the Lions having to defend in the red zone here on this possession, which they did not have to do in the first half of play.
Let's go down on the field to Glenn Beard. Glenn, what do you think Cliff Collins is telling those guys in that defensive huddle?
He's telling them to wake up. We got to stop the run right here. They're going to give them a big dose of number 25 and number 1. They're going to alternate that and try to shove it down their throats and make them like it. And so he said, wake up here, guys, and let's preserve the shutout.
Twin receivers near side. Twins, or one single receiver, I should say, to the right. Here's the snap, play action, firing it on a slant pattern, and it is incomplete at the 5-yard line. The intended receiver is Raheem Moore, so that's going to bring up now a 3rd down and 6. That was dangerous, but what a block by Kirkham on some inside pressure to allow McAfee to get that ball off.
Well, that was outstanding coverage across the way for the Lions as well. I couldn't tell, Glenn, was that Ty Williams?
Yeah, it is, Charlie. He did an outstanding job of closing in on that wide receiver and taking away the slant there at the last second.
3rd and 6 for Delta, down to the 15 of EMCC. The snap to McAfee, has pressure again, gets rid of it. Screen pass caught right side to the sideline, 1st down, and Moore getting inside the 5-yard line. Delta's knocking on that east end zone door as they're moving from right to left, trying to get into that end zone, trailing 38-0. Jaquez Aikens will make the stop for the Lions. So 1st down and goal to go for the Lion 5-yard line.
You know, one thing's got to be disconcerting for the Lions. Delta had 211 yards of offense through 3 quarters, and that's about 4 times their average.
Kirkham is going to check out. They're in the huddle. Someone near side yelling for Kirkham. saying 25, get back into the game. He certainly has been a spark for them in the second half. Delta with a snap for the Lion, 5-yard line. They give it to Derek Smith, goes around right side, gets into the end zone, touchdown from 5 yards out. And Delta has found the end zone, and they begin celebrating, and the clock will stop. It's still rolling. Should stop. 38-6 is our score.
Well, I'm not certain of the rule. I don't know whether once invoked it can be undone or whether it continues to apply.
I thought it stopped. They've done it so differently everywhere we've been.
But that's not a complaint. It's just an observation.
So 38-6, waiting the PAT. Coming out to attempt the PAT is Hohenstein. We'll wait the snap back. Here it comes. The hold is put down, and the kick is through the uprights and good. It is 38-7 now with 12:30 to go in this game. Back in 30 seconds with the kick to the Lions. This is the EMCC Radio Network. Hohenstein is going to get a chance to kick off against EMCC, as you were alluding to just a moment ago. 38-7 is our score. Number 1 EMCC on top of Mississippi Delta. 11:15 to go here in this game with the clock continuing to roll. Coming up on to the football is Hohenstein. Getting that right leg into it, and it's going to be taken by Kirkham at the 11-yard line. Kirkham decides to go on the left side across the 20, 25, 30, gets a sideline, gets a burst of speed, and is going to try to hurdle past a guy at midfield, and it's going to be pushed out of bounds. Boy, he just kind of hesitated and then all of a sudden put on the afterburners.
Yeah, nice job by Merritt that time on the return and gets it in to Delta territory, and 10:43 to go. Lions offense will get another turn.
The EMCC with the ball placed at the Delta 49-yard line will go to work. Scott will remain at quarterback. We'll have twin receivers either side. Mark is your tailback. He'll receive the handoff and speed it around the near side. Gets it down to 45 as he's between the hash numbers, down to about the 42-yard line when it's all said and done. Jamori Mark has been outstanding so far this season. 15 rushes, 190 yards, 2 touchdowns on the ground. Making the tackle is going to be Jalen Woods. So 2nd down and 2 to go. Firing it far side is going to be Connor. Actually, not Scott. It's Connor in there, and he's going to make it complete at the 26-yard line. So it will be a 1st down for EMCC. A plethora of new kids in there. Travion Jones with a reception. Twin receivers either side. Wide side of the field's near side, and running the football is Justin Connor, and he's just running in traffic. It's inside the 20 as he's between the hashes, angles to the near hash. He gets down inside the 20 to the 19-yard line.
Well, one thing about Connor, he runs the football very hard, and we have seen him when he has gotten opportunity tonight. He has taken advantage, and at time leaves a little bit of trouble in his wake. We've got a couple of guys for Delta look to be shaken up on the play.
Let's go down onto the field to Glenn Beer. Glenn, we were talking about that running back depth with Buddy Stevens and what he has. He has Reginald Hunter Jr., he has Justin Connor, Jamori Mark, Tyrell Price. It's like, what do you do to keep these guys happy? And I mean, because every single one of them could be your starting tailback each and every night. Of course, Tyrell Price has carried the bulk of the load and certainly has shown his worth with 11 touchdowns so far on the season through now 4.5 games.
It's a good problem to have, isn't it? I mean, there is no letdown from the 1s to the 2s to the 3s and some 4s.
Exactly. Trips will be sent up left side once we get the injured Mississippi Delta Trojan off the field. He's walking very gingerly. Clock is still stopped with 9:29 to go. Now they're going to run it. EMCC has it down to the Delta 19-yard line. The snap by Connor leaves it with Connor. Connor goes around left side, and he's going to get inside the 15 down to the 11-yard line. EMCC is going to be a yard away from getting a first down, so it's going to be a 3rd down in 1 situation. So you have Tamoris Connor, who is the quarterback, Justin Connor, the tailback. Justin Connor flank to the left of Tamoris Connor. Connor, the quarterback, receives it, gives it to Connor, the tailback, who gets inside the 10 as the first down, and he's going to rumble down to about the 5-yard line, it looks like, maybe just inside the 5 at the 4. So it's a first down carry for Justin Connor. And here's the snap, and going around the right side and diving towards the 3-yard line is going to be Tamoris Connor. So it's going to be a 2nd down and goal situation for EMCC just inside the 5-yard line. Connor, ball placed near hash at the 3. He's going to give it to his tailback, Justin Connor, who busts right between the middle of the line and goes down to about the 1. So EMCC close to getting into that west end zone. Tackled on the play by Terrence Harris. Here's the snap for the 1. They leave it with Justin Connor. Dives over the pile. Touchdown, EMCC. Justin Connor is going to have his 2nd touchdown on the ground this season. The North Panola High School product has gotten into the end zone, and it's 44-7 with under 8 to play in this game. Clock rolling.
Well, nothing fancy that time, just a straight-ahead give as they did on 2nd down. And on 3rd down, Connor was able to power it in from the 1, and Lions go up 44-7, 7:40 to go.
Grayson Pontius trying to make it 45-7. Wood will snap it momentarily to Boykin. They get it down, and here's the kick. It's through the uprights, and it is good again. And perfect on all of his PAT attempts tonight, Grayson Pontius, and he's gotten a lot of practice at that. 45-7 is our score. EMCC on top big with 7:20 to go in this contest. Back in 30 with a kick to Delta in a moment. We'll be back to Moorhead. This is the EMCC Radio Network.
Ball game, the Lions of EMCC, a 45-7 lead in the contest. They got a 1-yard touchdown run from Justin Connor to increase their lead here in the 4th quarter.
So Grayson Pontius has teed it up at the 35, and he'll kick from left to right momentarily. Oliver will wait inside the 5-yard line here on the near side. Antonio Oliver, that is. Anderson will creep up near the 10-yard line, now back up to the 5-yard line on the far side. Pontius, right foot kicks it. It's high end over end, and it's going to go over Anderson's head into the end zone for a touchback. First down, 10 to go for their own 25 for the Trojans with 5:56 to go in the game. 45-7, the number 1 team in the country, EMCC on top.
Yeah, Jason, it'll be interesting to speak with Buddy Stevens after this ball game to get his thoughts. I think, looking at the statistics from the first 3 quarters of play, I don't think he's going to be particularly happy that he gave up points. I think he's going to be less happy about the way that it happened, and that is allowing Mississippi Delta to get 211 yards of offense through 3 quarters. They've added to that since, and that is well over their average.
So Delta with 5:21 to go goes back to work. Here's pressure, sack back at the 20-yard line, and that's Boatwright who's going to come up with a sack, and he has just taken over the sack lead with his teammate Eric Kitchen, and both of those guys celebrate. That's 4 sacks on the season now for Aaron Boatwright. And Delta loses 5 yards back at the 20-yard line, and it's 2nd and 15 now with under 5 to play.
Yeah, that's one way to help your defensive statistics is turn some negative plays up there, and loss of 5 on that one.
And that's something EMCC is very capable of doing. At any moment, any snap, any play, that defensive front could possibly get in the backfield and create a negative play. And the screen pass caught on the right side by Smith, and EMCC is going to give up 5 yards up to the 25. So to get those 5 yards back, And it's, well, what do they call? Oh, you're calling an injury timeout. I can't see anyone on the field from here. Now I see a leg and a foot and some Delta players trying to help out a teammate.
That was number 22, Jason, Larry Ferguson. He's kind of out of it. He took a shot as the defenders from East Mississippi just really drilled him. Helmet come flying off. He didn't know where he was.
Oh, and you can tell he is looking almost zombie-esque out there as the trainers are trying to assist him across the field, and he does not look like he is aware of what's going on right now. 45-7 with 4:30 to go. They're going to stop the clock, obviously with the injury timeout. And Larry Ferguson is slow to get across the field. And Charlie, you mentioned new chin straps. They probably do need to invest in those, as they, of course, on a big hit, sometimes you can't help it. You're going to lose that helmet. And I would say that Larry Ferguson's night is over with 4:30 to go in this game.
Well, you would certainly hope so. This is one that he ought to be able to sit out the rest of this way.
And so here comes the Delta offense back out there with a 3rd and 10 to go from their own 25-yard line. Ball resting on the right hash, moving right to left. Twin receivers near side. McAfee's going to be in the shotgun. McAfee with the snap. Everybody goes out for the pass, fires it on a skinny post, and it is complete up to the 36-yard line. That's enough for a first down.
Incomplete, guys.
Oh, incomplete. Okay. Well, the official was running in there. It looked like he was about to give the catch signal. I thought he actually did there for a moment. But so it is incomplete. So it's 4th down and 10 to go from their own 25. So punting it away will be LaDavion Smith. And DJ Clayton's going to come back out to attempt to return here. He stands at his own 42 far hash. 3:40 to go. And EMCC, they get this football back. Hopefully they will not give the ball back. It will not change hands as far as possessions. We'll run out this clock. High snap, pulled down by Smith, and he gets a couple of steps into it. And DJ Clayton has to come across the field from far side to near side. He wants to take it there for a moment, or he wanted to, I should say, and it's going to roll dead around the 39-yard line. No reason to get cute and fancy there because it's going to roll dead in very, very good field position for you.
Now, Jason, I'm just intrigued by the fact that you suggested that with 3 minutes to go and timeouts in their pocket that EMCC is going to run out this clock. Could happen.
I mean, it should happen. I think it will happen. I don't.
All right.
They're going to work fast here.
Okay.
They're going to, from the 39-yard line. Back to pass and plenty of time. Throwing it over the middle. Caught by EMCC inside the 40, inside the 35, and close to the 31 after the dust settles. And that is going to be Adrian Miller, a 6 foot, 175 freshman from Columbia, Mississippi.
Well, I tell you
West
what,
Harrison High School.
All joking aside, Tamorius Connor looked really good throwing that football. That was a nice pass by Connor.
Connor will snap it and give it to Justin Connor, who's kind of patient, runs behind the line laterally, and then busts down the near hash as he gets inside the 30 down to about the 27-yard line. 2:10 to go. 2nd and medium after the 5-yard gain. That's not Connor, I beg your pardon. That's Reginald Hunter Jr. wearing jersey number 20. Reginald Hunter's going to take it again. Hunter is going to go around left side. He's going to be popped as he gets near the first down stick. He's going to be about a half-yard shy. So he's going to pick up 4.5 yards as he gets down to about the 23-yard line. He needs the 22. 142, 141, clock rolling. Moving from left to right, EMCC at 45-7. They're trying to bust 50 on the scoreboard. They play action to Connor, and Connor takes it right up the middle and is going to get inside the 20 down to the 19. So Hunter goes out, Justin Connor comes back in. The quarterback, Tamorius Connor, now will take it, I'm going to say he goes down about the 20-yard line. It's enough for a first down, so EMCC will have it 1st down and 10 to go from the 20 of Delta. Connor in the shotgun will take the snap, leaves it on the ground with running back Connor. He goes around left side, and he's going to go down the numbers inside the 15, down to about the 13. After it's all said and done, nice run by Justin Connor with a minute to go in this ball game. The EMCC trying to get into the end zone. So it's 2nd and 3 from the 13 of Mississippi Delta. Justin Connor takes the football, comes around right side, gets inside the 10. He's got the first down, stays on his feet as he gets down to the 6-yard line. And Charlie, they're going to get in the end zone, or at least attempting to get into the end zone, and not having to call timeouts to do it. 36 seconds, now 35 seconds. EMCC up 45-7. Now they're going to go up under center with Tamoris Connor, and there's victory formation. Connor will take a left knee, and that's going to end at 23-22. The clock will run out by the time the teams will get to midfield to start the handshake. 45-7 is going to be your final score. And EMCC runs their record to 5-0. Mississippi Delta drops to 0-4. Back with our post-game show in 1 minute. This is the EMCC Radio Network. Can I get a scoring summary printed when you get a chance? Yes. I'm going to attempt it.
I hope.
Yeah.
Mississippi Delta, the Lions of EMCC, get the win 45-7. Lions led at 31-0 at halftime, outscore Mississippi Delta 14-7 in the second half. That is our final score, 45-7. A game that took 2 hours and 15 minutes. It was a ball game that saw Mississippi Delta play very hard, even when they fell down in the contest. You saw some young running backs playing really hard, and you saw a team that very much improved over the one that we saw 2 years ago. By the way, looking at statistics in that ball game, first downs, EMCC had 28-7 for the Trojans of Mississippi Delta. Passing yards, EMCC 345-103 for Delta. Rushing yards, EMCC rushed it 30 times for 275 yards. Delta rushed it 32 for 123. So all told in the ball game for the Lions, 67 offensive plays, 620 yards. For Mississippi Delta, 59 plays, 226 yards. Third down conversions, EMCC was 8 of 11 in the contest, and Mississippi Delta 5 of 16. Lions were 1 of 3 on fourth down. Mississippi Delta 0 for 1. Lions made the red zone 5 times, scored 4. Delta made it there twice, scoring once. Leading rusher in the ball game for the Lions, Tyrell Price, who had 8 carries for 104 yards. He had a long of 70 and an average of 13. And in the passing department, it was Lindsey Scott Jr., who was 25 of 35 passing, had 1 interception, 310 yards, 2 touchdowns, and was not sacked on the night. So that'll look at your statistics here in the ball game. We'll take a break, come back, and Glenn Beard will be with Buddy Stevens. Lions get the win 45-7 here in the Delta tonight. We'll be back in 60 seconds. You're listening to the EMCC Radio Network.
Jim Randall Stadium, number 1 EMCC 45 and Mississippi Delta 7. Want to thank Scott Walters and Gavin Gilbert. There are spotters and statisticians. Want to thank Jaron Holmes back at the studio. For Buddy Stevens joining us on the pregame show. For my broadcast partners, Glenn Beard on the sidelines. And for Charlie Winfield here in the booth, I'm Jason Crowder saying so long for tonight. Next week, it's the big matchup, October the 4th in Scuba, Mississippi. 7 p.m. is the kickoff. 6:15 airtime of the pregame show is more than likely top 5 teams will meet in MAC-JC North play from Sullivan Wyndham Field in Scuba. I'm Jason Crowder saying so long, everybody, from Jim Randall Stadium. God bless. Thank you for tuning in to EMCC's victory over Mississippi Delta. You've been listening to a production of EMCC Football on the EMCC Radio Network.